The airport was buzzing with holiday travelers, their footsteps echoing on polished floors, luggage wheels humming behind them. Among the sea of movement stood a young woman with tired eyes and trembling hands, gripping a worn duffel bag and a boarding pass smudged from sweat. Her name was Rachel Monroe, 29, alone, and 6 months pregnant. It was 2 days before Christmas. She hadn't planned to fly. She hadn't planned much at all, really. But when the last door closed behind her, a goodbye from a relationship that had crumbled under pressure, Rachel realized she had nowhere to go. Except back to the only place that had ever felt remotely like home, her grandmother's small town in Montana. She hadn't spoken to her in years, not since her mother passed. But now, as she stood in Terminal C of Denver International Airport, waiting for a standby seat on the last flight of the day, she clung to that tiny hope like a lifeline. Her phone was nearly dead. She hadn't eaten. Her coat was thin, and her heart was thinner. Final boarding call for Flight 287 to Bozeman, the loudspeaker announced. Rachel rushed to the counter, her breath shallow. "I'm on standby," she said. "Is there any chance?" The agent, a middle-aged woman with kind eyes, shook her head. "I'm sorry, ma'am. The flight is full." Rachel nodded, lips pressed tight. "Thank you." She stepped aside, trying not to cry. She had no hotel reservation, no return ticket, and no plan B. That's when she heard the voice. "You can take my seat." She turned. A man in his late 60s stood nearby, a wool cap in one hand and a smile in the other. He wore a flannel coat and had a softness in his eyes, like someone who knew what it meant to hurt but still believed in goodness. "What?" Rachel asked. "I live in Bozeman. I can catch the morning flight. But you look like you need this one more than I do." Her voice cracked. "Are you sure?" "Absolutely." The gate agent looked between them. "If you both agree, I can make the change." Rachel nodded, wiping her eyes. "Thank you." "I don't know how to thank you." "Don't worry about it," he said, handing over his ticket. "Just promise me you'll pay it forward someday." She boarded the plane with tears in her eyes and warmth in her chest. The man's name was Walter Bishop. They didn't meet again until 3 months later. Walter lived alone in a log cabin just outside Bozeman. A retired carpenter, he filled his days building birdhouses, drinking strong coffee, and mailing birthday cards to his grandchildren. When his wife had died 5 years ago, the silence nearly consumed him. But he believed that kindness kept the echoes away. On a rainy April afternoon, he heard a knock at the door. He opened it to find Rachel, holding a bundle wrapped in blankets. "You probably don't remember me," she said. Walter stared, stunned. "From the airport." She nodded. "This is Lily. She was born 2 weeks ago. I didn't know where else to go. My grandmother passed away last year, and the house is empty. I found your name through the airline and asked around." He stepped aside. "Come in. You're home." Walter had never changed a diaper in his life, but over the next few days, he learned. He also learned that Rachel had been living in her grandmother's house with no heat, little food, and a newborn. The utilities had been cut off. Her job applications had gone unanswered. She had nothing except a suitcase and a tiny baby who cried through the night. So Walter did what only the best kind of stranger would do. He fixed the heating. He stocked the pantry. He brought over baby clothes from his daughter. And when Rachel broke down sobbing in his kitchen, he held her hand without saying a word. As spring turned into summer, Rachel and Lily became part of Walter's daily life. He built a crib. He sang lullabies off-key. He taught Rachel how to garden and showed her how to sand furniture. And Rachel, in turn, brought joy back into Walter's home. Her laughter filled the empty rooms. Lily's giggles bounced off the walls. Meals were shared, stories told, and wounds slowly, tenderly healed. But then came a letter. A job offer. From a publishing house in Portland. Rachel had applied months ago and forgotten all about it. It's a good opportunity, she told Walter. Full-time. Good pay. Benefits. He smiled, but it didn't reach his eyes. I should go, she said, quietly. It's what's best for Lily. He nodded. You always do what's best for her. That's how I know you're already the best kind of mom. The night before she left, they sat on the porch, watching fireflies. You changed my life, Rachel said. You changed mine too, Walter replied. I thought my story was over. But you and Lily gave me a new chapter. She reached over and hugged him. You're family now. Always. A year passed. Walter received regular letters and photos. Lily's first steps. Her first birthday. Rachel's promotion. Her tiny apartment filled with books and toys. But nothing could compare to the surprise that came the following December. On Christmas morning, Walter opened his door to find Rachel and Lily on the porch, bundled in scarves and smiles. We came home, she said. If that's still okay. Walter didn't answer with words. He simply pulled them into his arms. That night, over hot cocoa and an undecorated pine tree, Rachel handed Walter a wrapped box. Inside was a photo of the three of them, framed in cedar. Underneath it read, When strangers become family. Walter looked up, tears in his eyes. Best Christmas gift I've ever received. Rachel smiled. And there are many more to come. Because family, it turns out, isn't always who you're born to. Sometimes it's the ones who find you when you need them most. And sometimes, a single act of kindness is the beginning of forever.